For decades, Abby and Brittany Hensel lived quietly, believing the world had finally learned to let them breathe. Born as dicephalic conjoined twins in Minnesota, they had long navigated life under a spotlight they never requested. From their appearance on the Oprah Winfrey Show in 1996 to the cover of Life magazine and their 2012 TLC series, strangers examined every detail of their lives. Over time, the twins learned to protect their privacy, build a routine, and pursue ordinary goals. They became teachers, lived independently, and experienced a peace they had rarely known. But that peace was not permanent. A personal milestone exposed. In 2024, a personal decision transformed their lives overnight. Abby had quietly married U.S. Army veteran and nurse Josh Bowling on November 13, 2021. The intimate ceremony was private, without cameras, press, or announcement, marking the first major life event Abby experienced outside public scrutiny. For the Hensel twins, who had spent over 3 decades navigating curiosity and attention, this marriage was deeply personal. Yet once public records revealed the union, global headlines erupted. The news ignited a frenzy of debate about legality, ethics, and morality. Strangers judged a life they knew nothing about, turning a private celebration into public spectacle. The rise of a fake account. The situation worsened when a fake TikTok account began impersonating the twins. The account posted edited videos, stolen photos, and false claims, including insinuations of a pregnancy. Although the twins had carefully limited their online presence, the account spread misinformation quietly since 2021. Initially, Abby and Brittany ignored it, assuming it was just a stranger seeking attention or viral fame. By 2024, the posts exploded, creating global speculation. The videos claimed Abby was married and expecting a child, a statement entirely false. The internet consumed the narrative as truth, leaving the twins feeling trapped and violated once again, this time by the digital world rather than direct public attention. Public reaction and misguided curiosity. As the fake TikTok went viral, news outlets, YouTubers, and commentators fueled the story. People analyzed the twins' lives, argued over which twin could carry a baby, and debated ethics and medical feasibility. For Abby and Brittany, this was a painful repetition of a lifetime of public scrutiny. Years of working to live ordinary lives had been undone by strangers' assumptions. Even well-meaning curiosity became invasive. The twins' privacy was violated and their personal choices dissected by people who had no right to judge. Their struggle was no longer just against public fascination, but against an entire digital ecosystem creating false narratives. Josh Bowling steps forward. Finally, Josh Bowling addressed the situation publicly on September 8th through People magazine. He clarified that the TikTok account was not run by them and that the twins had no connection to its posts. Josh explained that the account stole photos from family Facebook pages and used them to fabricate stories. He emphasized the family's decision to remain private, revealing the pressure to respond arose only when speculation reached global media outlets. The statement made it clear that Abby and Brittany were not hiding anything, but were protecting their right to control their own narrative. It was a rare public defense against digital misinformation. The real tragedy. The most profound tragedy was not the rumor itself, but what it represented, the world's sense of entitlement to their private lives. Despite decades of achievements, degrees, teaching careers, relationships, and personal milestones, the Hensel twins were still subject to scrutiny, commentary, and intrusion. A lie fabricated online became a global headline, demonstrating that extraordinary lives are often seen as public property. Every action, every decision was open to judgment, leaving little room for personal boundaries. For 2 women who had long navigated attention and curiosity, this invasion carried a deeper emotional toll than any medical or physical challenge ever had. Childhood under scrutiny. From birth in 1990, Abby and Brittany experienced intense public fascination. Doctors, photographers, journalists, and curious strangers monitored their lives closely. Their parents worked to protect them, but society's interest was relentless. Growing up, they learned early how to control what people could see and how to respond to questions about their anatomy. Over time, they became experts at managing public perception. Yet the need for privacy never disappeared. Even as adults, any attempt at ordinary life could be disrupted by attention or rumor. The digital age amplified this struggle, making privacy increasingly fragile and illustrating that, conjoined or not, personal boundaries were continually tested. Dreams of motherhood had always been a dream for Abby and Brittany. In a 2006 special, they spoke openly about wanting to become moms, acknowledging the challenges they might face. Their honesty was once perceived as innocent curiosity, not an invitation for speculation. Years later, this openness was weaponized by the online world to support false claims of pregnancy. The twins' personal hopes and discussions were twisted into evidence, demonstrating how even genuine intentions could be exploited. The situation highlighted the difficulty of balancing transparency with personal privacy, showing that public fascination often prioritizes narrative over humanity. Speculation runs. Wild medical experts, commentators, and influencers joined the discussion, speculating about pregnancy risks and ethical considerations. None of these statements were verified, but millions consumed them as fact. The twins never confirmed anything because there was nothing to confirm. A newborn photo, real or imagined, became global fodder for debate, reducing private milestones to public entertainment. Abby and Brittany faced renewed frustration and anxiety, not because of the content itself, but because people assumed a right to know, analyze, and critique. The situation underscored how public curiosity can escalate into misinformation and intrusion, causing emotional harm even without physical confrontation. Living with integrity. Despite the digital chaos, Abby and Brittany focused on what they could control: integrity, dignity, and their own lives. They continued raising their blended family with Josh Bowling and preserved their right to privacy. The twins maintained their teaching careers, guiding fifth graders with patience, teamwork, and genuine care. Abby specialized in math and science, Brittany in reading and language arts. In their classroom, they were not curiosities, but educators. Their students saw two caring adults, not viral stories or anatomical anomalies. Through this work, the twins demonstrated resilience and the ability to reclaim personal agency amid public intrusion. The ongoing challenge of privacy. Even with stability restored by 2025, the twins' lives remained vulnerable to public curiosity. The internet had shown that privacy could be violated at any time, even with careful measures. Fake accounts, tabloids, and speculation were impossible to fully control, yet Abby and Brittany refused to allow these intrusions to define them. Their response was not outrage, but persistence, continuing to live ordinary lives while guarding personal boundaries. Their story illustrates how digital culture challenges privacy and highlights the need to respect boundaries, particularly for people who have lived under constant public observation since birth. A lesson in humanity. The Hensel twins' journey is extraordinary not because of their anatomy, but because of their resilience, patience, and determination to live authentically. They show that curiosity should never outweigh empathy, and that public fascination should not become entitlement. Despite decades of scrutiny, rumors, and digital misrepresentation, Abby and Brittany continued to prioritize dignity over spectacle. Their story emphasizes the human cost of invasive curiosity and the power of personal agency. It reminds us that every individual deserves the right to privacy, the freedom to make personal choices, and the respect to live life without unsolicited judgment or interference. Choosing peace over spectacle. Abby and Brittany Hensel have spent their lives proving that they deserve privacy and respect. They have navigated extraordinary attention with grace, balancing personal ambition, family, and professional life. The challenges they faced show the dangers of public obsession and digital misinformation, but also the strength of resilience and integrity. Through rumors, headlines, and speculation, the twins remain committed to their values, their family, and their work. Their story teaches a vital lesson. Extraordinary lives do not obligate one to public ownership, and human dignity must always be prioritized over curiosity or entertainment.